In Together, most of the film was shot using the dog's natural movements and instincts. The dog used is a Rhodesian Ridgeback, and at the time of this film, he's only a year and a half. This is quite young for a movie dog, but this dog is by nature a lazy dog, which is what was needed for most of the scenes. Let's start with the cemetery. The dog is asked to lie down and stay while looking sad. Of course, a dog can't act sad, but if you get him sleepy enough and paired with slow music, he can look sad to the human eye. Getting this dog sleepy enough was easy because he is a very lazy individual. The 45-minute drive to the location was stressful for him, and allowing him to run for 5 minutes before starting the shoot was enough to get him to stay lying down for long periods in different positions. This dog highly regards treats as his reward and is very much people-oriented, so the use of liver treats to reward him for staying down for long periods was enough to keep him happy. The shoot for the cemetery scene lasted 2 hours. The shoot through the forest consisted of simply following the dog and getting him excited so he'd run. Next, the dog needed to slow down and look like he needed to find a new home. This was easy to shoot because it follows his natural instincts. Treats were used to get him to smell in certain areas and to make him look like he was eating bugs. In front of the house, the dog needed to look with intent at the house from a distance, with the camera getting a shot from behind. This shot was difficult because the neighbor's dog was barking and it was making him look in the wrong direction. A treat he likes but doesn't consider a high-value treat was thrown onto the ground to get him to look in the right direction without moving his body for a few seconds. Large breed dogs often feel discomfort or pain when asked to lie on concrete, so high-value treats were needed to get the dog to stay lying down on the steps in front of the house. When the lady opens the door to yell at the dog, I used high-value treats to get the dog to run quickly down the stairs. There are 2 ways of training the dog for this shoot. 1, by creating a pattern, opening the door and throwing a few treats which the dog will freely run to get. As you throw the treats, you make a big arm movement, so the movement of your arm becomes the cue. Or 2, using the mat training and pointing to the mat so the dog will go to the mat when asked. I chose to use the treats because this dog is lazy and I wanted to get a faster response than the mat would have given me. Because this dog is people-oriented, he naturally comes back to the door once the treats are finished. Inside the entrance of the house, the basic command "stay" was used. No treats were used. However, cooked hamburger was given to the dog to gobble up the food quickly to give the appearance he had not eaten for a long time. Once inside the house, the commands "down" and "stay" are the only commands needed. The biggest challenge was to get the dog to put his head down slowly and relaxed while looking toward the camera for his close-up as the lady was petting him. This was made more difficult because there was no cameraman. The camera was set up on a tripod, so the dog had to stay in place and not move while the focus was set on the area where the dog had to put his head down. On action, I had to sit next to the dog and ask him to put his head down in the exact area the camera was set for. My secret to this shoot was lots of exercise for the dog before beginning this shoot to make sure he was too tired to do anything.